Hey everybody, I'm James Nicholson. I'm a wrestling coach for the Birmingham Wrestling Complex, home of Vestavia Wrestling Club. As you can tell, I'm pimped out of gear right now. We are going to be learning how to move our feet today with some basic footwork drills. I'm going to show you 3. I have about 10. So we as coaches, we don't stress how important moving our feet are. Young athletes have grown up and they've been playing baseball, they've been shooting basketballs, they've been doing a lot of eye-hand coordination. Heck, they've been even writing with their hands. So you do a lot with your hands, you open a door with your hand, with your feet, you know how to walk, you know how to run, but you really don't stress how important moving our feet are. If kids learn how to move their feet effectively with these drills, they will learn how to pick up a move that much quicker. So I teach a lot of private lessons. In the private lessons, when I have the kids doing 15 minutes of footwork, they do it every single day on their own. If they've done it for about 3 or 4 weeks, I can tell a difference, and they pick up the technique that I show on my feet in about a quarter of the time than it takes with a kid that doesn't do his footwork. So just to put it in perspective, footwork's important. I coached college for 4 years at ODU. I was a 2-time All-American at ODU. 80% of my athletes, that's the 1%, 80% on the D1 level that I coached didn't know how to move their feet effectively. So just through a few basic drills that I made them do, they absorb technique like that. That is my spiel on that. I won't say that again. Footwork's important. So we are going to start off today with the angle drill. I like to have kids not worry about their stance or their lead leg at first. I like to have them standing straight up and down. This is the easiest way to learn it. So they don't have to have wrestling shoes. They don't need to be on a mat. They can do it walking to class. They can do it before school, after school, before bedtime. It doesn't matter when they do it. So starting off, all I want to do is I want to get a 90-degree angle. So I'm going to side step. I'm going to throw my hips. That's key point number 1. Key point number 2, when I throw my hips, I make sure I pivot, I drag this foot, drag that foot. Key point number 2. Key point number 3, making sure I pivot my feet when I throw. And pivot. Good. So then I step again, I'll step back right where I just was, and then I'm going to throw my hips. Key point number 1. Key point number 2, making sure I pivot my feet. Key point number 3, making sure this foot that is dragging does not leave the mat. The reason I had you drag it is because when you pick it up, you put all your weight on one foot, your opponent knows that. We don't want that. So again, side step, throw the hips, drag. Make sure you pivot your feet with your hips. A lot of what you run into a lot, or what I run into a lot, is I see a lot of people stepping, and then they try to step, and then they pivot, and they're like, I did it right, coach. No, you didn't. Do it again. So make sure they throw those hips, and they cut back and forth. You can have them do it straight up and down. This works great for getting away and cutting away. Teaching kids, this is a full 180. Or getting angles for our double leg, or a high crotch, or passing the guy by. It also works well with a snap down with the second drill that I'm about to show. I just teleported. The second drill I'm about to show is a scissor-step. There's a couple key points. This one's a little bit more difficult than the angle drill. By the way, on the angle drill, once they pick it up, stand straight up and down, tell them to get in a stance, tell them to lead whatever leg they lead with, and make sure that leg stays forward. I forgot to stress that. Don't forget that. So make sure if they're angle stepping, that they stay a right leg lead in their stance. Stay a right leg lead in their stance. If they're a left leg lead, making sure they stay a left leg lead in their stance. If they're cutting a whole 180, if they're a left leg lead, make sure they stay a left leg lead. Okay, it doesn't matter which way they cut. If I'm a left leg lead and I got my right foot out front, make sure I drag to a left leg lead. Make sure that arm comes down though. Okay, sometimes that leg can go all the way back. Put it down, I can come right back up. And that leg's forward again. So you're always ready to go, always ready to adapt off of these footwork drills. Okay, on to the scissor step. Like I said, it's best to do it standing straight up and down and not worrying about which lead leg they are or their stance. It's the easiest way to learn it, easiest way to teach it. So I have the kids, there's a couple key points. One, make sure they don't go up before they drop. A scissor step, all you're doing is you're picking your feet up, moving them, catching yourself. When I say up, I don't mean jump. I mean pick your feet up and catch yourself. I just drop. There's a few key points I'm looking for. One, making sure their head doesn't go up before they go down. So if they're looking at a wall, they should be able to just drop. They should be able to just, so this way they need to know which leg they lead with, or start like this, and then scissor. So when I scissor, I'm going to have them shift forward or shift back. There's two variations of this. Actually, there's three, but it correlates with the first one, so I'll tie that in together. When I shift forward, it's more for a power shot, more for a penetration, blast doubles, power, penetration high crotch, penetration singles, getting straight on, not necessarily sweeps. So I'm going to scissor, catch myself, and then I'm going to drag forward, hold that level change. When I hold that level change, I can have my chest high for high crotches, doubles, or straight on singles, or if I want, I can drop my chest on my knee for low singles. Either or, it's at the discretion of whoever you're teaching to. Obviously, you should do it both ways. You should learn both sides. So again, key point, don't raise up to drop. When you drop, you catch, make sure you drag. And when you drag, you need to complete your level change. So I drag forward, I shift forward, I hold, I'm ready for a high crotch, I'm ready for a blast double, I'm ready for a single. Okay, again, different angle. We'll go straight this time. I scissor step. I catch myself. This time I'm going to shift back. When I shift back, it is more for dips, okay, ducks, boot scoots, whatever you got, okay, where you're pulling the guy and throwing him over top of you. Okay. The last one, instead of scissoring long, I'm going to scissor going wide. So actually, I forgot a key point. One of the key points, once their head isn't going up anymore, you have to watch the space underneath their heel. First off, they should already be on their toes. So you shouldn't see them rock forward and see light go underneath their heel. You should be able to just pick it up, drop, and catch yourself. So the last one, tying the angle drill in with the scissor step, I'm going wide, and I'm going to catch myself, I'm going to throw my hips, and I'm going to smack the mat. I use this for snaps. I do a wave action snap where I engage my core, and I throw my hands down the mat. That's how I teach it. Okay? I don't just teach pulling the guy down with the arms, I teach pulling the guy down with your core and your hips, the strongest part of your body. Why use your hands when you can use this? So again, scissor step going wide, and then immediately into an angle drill. You could use this to pass, you could use this to snap, you could use this to get an angle. Okay, you could fake the snap and get a huge angle and then blast the guy. So here, let's say I'm going pass now, right into my shot. Or let's say I want to scissor step. This time I'm going to snap, I'm going to pull the guy all the way down. Hit the mat. This time I'm going to fake the snap. I'm going to head tap, I'm going to come back with the sweep. That guy's going to bite hard, he's not going to let me pass. Pull back, come right back into my sweep. Alright, this brings me into my last drill. This is called a Stagger-Step. This is the third one of this series, the ones that I'm going to show, the third one of 10, but the basic ones that I'm going to show. So, with a Stagger-Step, it is really hard to break it down because gravity works too fast. Just to show you what it is this foot goes up, this foot shoots down, this foot comes up, I shoot myself forward. And I hear it. Gravity works too fast. I'm rounding the bottom of my level change. So to try to do it slow, you can have them grab on the wall. Just to show you, you can have them start here and learn it just so they're holding themselves up so they can kind of get it down. I like to start them standing straight up and down, pick one foot up, and they're going to march in place almost. They're going to stomp this down, and as they stomp this comes up to your chest. Again, I like to learn it one side, so being a right leg lead. Actually, I'm a left leg lead. I should be doing it this way. One key point, make sure they're already on their toe when they go to stop. So that way they don't jump into it. They should not raise up to drop. Okay? Foot goes down, other foot comes up. Once they figure out how to do it in place and you feel comfortable going on to the next point, they're in their stance, or their feet are apart, trail leg comes up. As trail leg comes down, lead leg is up off the mat, trail leg hits, shoot yourself forward, catch, you should hear a t-t, and then immediately shift forward afterwards. So, trail leg comes up, I'm thinking, I'm making the kid think critically, trail leg goes down, slightly behind your lead leg, and shoot yourself forward, picking your lead leg up as this goes down. Immediately shift, ready to blast the guy. Double, straight single, high crotch. Okay, if you want to hit a low single, chest on me, just like before. So again, stagger, up, this shoots down, shoot myself forward and get a shift afterwards. So it looks like going forward or going this way, different angle, trail, immediately shift afterwards. Going forward, go left leg lead this time, immediately shift afterwards. Once they get it down, once they master one leg over and over and over again, and then they pick up the other leg, you should tell them not to exaggerate this. They should try to keep their foot as close to the ground as possible. So like a centimeter coming up off the ground and moving. So if you look at this foot really doesn't move the ground very much. It moves like this much, moves back, I hit, and this leg's already up off the ground. Immediately shoot myself forward, immediately shift afterwards. Once they pick both sides up, then you can have them doing a stagger-step alternating drill. That's complicated, that's a mouthful. I just call it a stagger-step drill. So, one foot goes forward, right, you shift forward, shift all your weight to your back foot, pick that leg up, now we're going stagger-step going left. And then we go right. And then we go left. And we keep going until you can speed it up. Some kids are going to need it. But you should be able to do it this quick after about 3 or 4 weeks. That's if you do 15 minutes a day, like I said. And I can even go faster. So let's get down into the stance. To do it without thinking about it. So I don't do these daily anymore, they're just locked in. Once you figure that out, then you can start incorporating that with your angle drill, with your scissor drill. Tying everything in together in a stance with your lead leg. I'm a left leg lead, so I'm going to do it all left leg lead. So stagger, stagger, angle, angle, and stagger. Shift, scissor shift, scissor shift, scissor shift, stagger. Angle, stagger, scissor. It gets really tiring. Teaches kids how to move their feet. Again, I'm James Nicholson, and that's my Nicholson footwork drills. Thanks for watching.